magic formula is to have trust, knowing that there are no boundaries, that we create them for ourselves. Really just going for it.
My brain just said, this is what you do.
Music always comes through for me.
All I wanted was to get to be in a band.
Music's a boys' club.
I've never been ladylike. I suck at it, and I think it's kind of dumb.
Wow, that was the fastest I've ever seen a woman tear down her gear. Great job. And I look at him and I'm like, thanks.
There are so many female musicians in Seattle, and they're not just here.
I think if you ask any female musician in the world, especially in Seattle, they will have a story for you.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, we're shining a spotlight on just a handful of the incredible women that have graced our stage. You'll hear their music, but more importantly, their stories. Band in Seattle. Uncover the music that moves you.
Hi, I'm Laura Hilgeman.
Hi, I'm Lupe Flores.
And I'm the guitarist and lead vocalist of Wild Powers.
And I play drums in Wild Powers.
And I also work here at Hattie's Hat,
the best bar in America. I had a dream in high school about playing drums on stage. I had never played any instrument. I was kind of a hippie at the time, so I went out and bought a hand drum the next day and started out playing percussion, just teaching myself. For my graduation present from college, my lovely parents got me a drum kit. I had no idea how to play it. I started out playing it with my hands. I saw a one-man band up in Bellingham where I was going to college at the time. Thought he was great, and I went up to him and introduced myself, and I told him I was going to be his drummer. And so we scheduled band practice, and he came over with me, just buying my first pair of drumsticks and having no idea what I was doing.
Art can be taken as like a hobby more than an actual thing you want to do and pursue. And you know, I've been told like you're wasting your time. This isn't something that's feasible. Maybe you should consider doing this instead. And I am fortunate enough to have people that don't do that anymore in my life. It's really cool to have a community of people that understand the value of what art can be.
I'm so wasted. Wasted. I'm so wasted. Wasted. I'm so wasted. Wasted.
So we were playing this festival in Everett called Fisherman's Village. We didn't know what to expect. There was a little girl, I think she was 7 or 8 years old, who just worked her way right up to the front row. During every song was dancing, and after every song just was like jumping wildly and screaming, "Wild Powers, rock and roll forever! Rock and roll!"
Afterwards, after we played, we like got down, we're like, hey, what's your name? And we're just like talking to her, and her mom was like, this is her first show ever.
And she just made us both cry. We gave her a bunch of merch. She immediately put on our band t-shirt. That was huge on her.
And she was like, I'm gonna start a band. Maybe I'll play at my school gymnasium or something. We're like, yeah, we'll totally go. And she's like,
really? Like,
I think she asked us to play with her. She's like, when I start a band, you're gonna play with us. And I was like,
yeah,
yep.
totally.
You get at the kiddos early. They just start saying all sorts of examples of all sorts of people doing the things they want to do.
My name's Leah, and I play drums for the band Sundries. When I'm not playing drums, you can find me playing bass for Thunderpussy. I grew up on punk music and pop punk, and I had no female idols as far as drummers go growing up. I liked Travis Barker because he was just really good at playing the drums. Now, you know, like Janet Weiss of Sleater-Kinney, she's incredible. And there's like a few here or there that I think are more accessible to kids, but it's still a very male-dominated industry, especially on the drums.
What's really great about being a woman is being able to inspire young girls. I felt like I didn't have a lot of heroes. I just didn't see a lot of like women that were brown and that looked like me and that were like rocking out. I was like, well, I can be that for somebody else because I don't want them to be like me in a sense where I didn't feel like I had any heroes I can look up to. I just thought that this is a dude thing, this is what dudes do, but I want to do it too. And then it wasn't until I was older, learned how to use the internet, that I found more women out there that looked like me. They just weren't being shown. So I want to be that hero, like for younger girls.
If you know the words, sing it. If you don't, pretend and you like the song, just like love is
Women in Black is one of the most important songs I think I've ever written. I wrote that after I went to a Black Panther convention, and I didn't know that much about the Black Panther Party until I went to that convention. I had heard of them, but you know how some history gets distorted. And after that convention, I wrote that song because it reminded me of how I used to wear black a lot in high school, and everyone was like, oh, you're gothic, or you're evil. I'm like, why is black always associated as this evil color? Are you calling me evil woman every time you say black woman? And so I just wanted to make a kind of an anthem for the color black, but also for it to have a deeper meaning. A woman in black is like being a woman in black skin, not just necessarily black clothing.
I think I'm leaving, baby. I think I'll be gone so long. 'Cause I'm the woman in black, and it's right what you see. Bullets don't walk and run from me. Nose to chop for me. Whoa.
I don't like the idea of being a token woman in a band. I want to make sure that I feel represented musically more than anything else.
You know, I feel like if anyone's gonna talk to me in a way that has nothing to do with like the band, then, I don't know, suck it.
Hi, I'm Lisa Mungo. I am a vocalist and synth player in Hugh Zox's Chord. I was really shy. I was so shy as a kid. I didn't actually really, that whole typical, like, I didn't have a lot of friends, you know, my friends were adults. I somehow managed to convince somebody I was a good enough cheerleader for them to like let me on the squad. So decided to try out, and it was crazy. It was a crazy idea. Something inside me was like, just do it, and if you don't make it, you're fine. I mean, I'll be devastated. I was a kid, but if you do make it, this is a new thing. This is a new challenge. I tried out and somehow miraculously did the thing. Cheerleading initially kind of gave me some confidence, at least going out in front of a big crowd and like dancing. Beyond that, the other performance element, before I really got serious about music, was I actually joined the armed services. I was in the Army. I joined pretty much straight out of high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I came from kind of a family. A lot of my members had been in the service, and that shocks a lot of people too. But I served, and I was always getting put in positions of leadership, and therefore I was shouting out cadence. And that's where I learned really for the first time how to sing with a real voice, with confidence, was during that period of time.
My name is Kaylee Schmidt, and I play fiddle in Polecat. Being the only girl has its positives and its negatives. I always get a bed when there is only one bed. I don't like the idea of being a token woman in a band. I don't want to fight it, but I don't want it to be my thing. I want to make sure that I feel represented musically more than anything else. This band lets me play off of other members really well. It makes my instrument feel really essential.
I think it's very easy for people to say that a band is like a family. It sounds trite even when I say it, but we are absolutely a family. We're so close and we get along so well. And I think that's a real testament to actually loving each person in the band instead of saying like, oh, he plays guitar, or like, that's a bassist. It's really important that we're a family first.
As a woman in music, there is a feeling that you have to prove yourself a little bit more. Personally started feeling that a little bit, being surprised by certain talents, you know. I don't feel that for my bandmates at all, but I think, and maybe it's not even things that people have done individually, it's just as a society.
I don't feel anything different about being a female, especially with my bandmates. I also don't think I allow myself to. You know, I feel like if anyone's gonna talk to me in a way that has nothing to do with like the band, then I don't know, suck it. Singing for me, this is the first band that I've sung in. I've done backups here and there, but this is my first time being the singer. And it kind of just happened out of like necessity, where it was just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with a singer anymore. I don't want to deal with somebody that doesn't load their stuff. It's like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'd rather it just be like, take that person out. I think that my approach with it was just that not everyone's looking for like a conventionally great voice. And there's a lot of people that I like that don't have conventionally like great voices, but I think that they do something that's sincere, you know. I think that that matters more, and it's something that like makes me feel good.
Because
back, meet Seattle's Wonder Women making their own way.
I love Tina Turner. She had the sequins, she had the fringe, she had the hair, she had the attitude.
Okay, I guess I'm the queen of the underworld now. Fantastic. I'm Katie Kate, and I am a musician, composer, performer, producer, fossil collector. Persephone is a mythological being who was hanging out in the field, chilling. Then Hades saw her and was like, I want that, mine. So he like dragged her down to hell. And then he's like, surprise, you have to stay here forever now. And she's like, what? Okay, I guess I'm the queen of the underworld now. Fantastic. To me, Persephone is both innocence and fragility and this like queen of the dead underworld other being, and she has to be both of those.
Kate writes all of it. Persephone, she really got the message down, not only lyrically, but in the music. And for me personally, performing that has always been like a very cathartic experience, because it's very like tribal drumming almost, and just beating that drum like really hard. And at the end, I usually just have to throw my sticks because my arms are so tired.
Shut your mouth because your willing is weak, and you should bum me out and get permission to speak. And you wanted adventure, now you want to go home, and you're crying to my mom and she left you alone. And the hush, more terrifying than the rush. Make an offering, give it to us. And snuff the candle before it burns out. Keep your eye in the corner, keep your head in the ground. And you hear a voice whisper over the beat. Now you know how it feels to be she. Baby bitches or Madonnas. Yeah, we know that's how you want it. So give us a reason, give us a reason, give her a reason, give her a reason, give me a reason, give me a reason, give me a reason, just give me a reason. We was born in the sky, sent to rule the earth. We was born in the sky, sent to rule the earth. We was born in the sky, sent to rule the earth. We was born in the sky. Our bewitching ceremony is written by the light of the moon. She has come for you like a terrible beast who stood frozen in sight. You had no idea. Headlights, and they flash. Thunderclap with a crash. Give me a card so I can rip it in half. And she screams and bleeds like a terrible demon. Pray out loud, yeah, complaining and screaming. Line is crossed, now it's over and done. And number one, she roughhouse with tough tongue and a force of nature. Tidal gravity, terrifying, pure depravity. Give her a reason, just one reason. Give her a reason, just one reason. Give me a reason, give me a reason, give me a reason, just give me a reason. And I try to suppress, it gets louder.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lynn. I am the front woman of Jessica Lynn and the Cousins, and I'm a full-time musician.
I turn it 360 degrees like feel the whole world move beneath me. I'm almost there.
I am happy doing what I'm doing, and I don't think you can get any further unless you come truly to terms with and accept and love where you're at. I still have very high ambitions. I want to win a Grammy someday. I want to go to the CMA Awards. I want to get my music out into the world on the grandest scale possible. I definitely have big plans, and I have no idea how that's going to happen, but I believe that it can, and I believe that it will.
So I have had a dream or vision for myself since I was 5. At least I remember the first time I knew when I was just sitting in this preschool choir and I could hear them singing off, and my brain just said, this is what you do. I really just want to be great. I want to work so hard on my craft that I contribute greatly to the world.
But this time you will wait before you say what you think I need to hear. And this time I'll carry your fears. Hope I've got to be free, whatever that means.
I love Tina Turner. She's been my biggest idol since I was 8. I love that raw, fiery passion that she always had. She had the sequins, she had the fringe, she had the hair, she had the attitude. She didn't care. It wasn't her trying to impress anybody, it was her reaching down inside and letting that come out. And that's my process.
This time you will wait before you say what you think I need to hear. And this time I won't carry your fears. Oh, I've got to be free. Oh, I got to be free. Whatever that means.
After the break, family, music, and how they fit together.
It's important for my kids to see that there is a place in your life for things that you love and for things that you're passionate about.
A lot of my friends have children at my age, young ones, and you know, I'm looking at purchasing a motorcycle. That's what I would like.
What did you see way up high? Something you couldn't identify. Looking to the sky for another chance.
Hi, I'm Julia Massey.
Sensory input, find the hoax. What does it take to be a ghost, and who are the folks making this?
The way that I am able to balance out my life and career with being a mom, being a musician, and I work as a nanny during the week as well. The way to balance all of that for me really stems from being able to live with my extended family. So I live with my drummer, who's my brother-in-law, and his brother. So Jared, my husband, is the middle of 3 brothers, and they live with Jared, me, and my son. So it's a very happy family living in a house with a backyard. We're able to kind of juggle the parenting and community feel of a family.
Find the hoax. What does it take to be a ghost, and who are the folks making this romance? Running up all the videos and placing my bids with yes and no's, 'cause crops ain't rows when the patterns dance. What if there isn't a right and wrong? Just everyone singing every song, everyone singing every song.
Hi, my name is Jenny Fitzen. I am the lead guitarist for Krista Says Yay. I am a full-time mom to 2 small kids as well, and I work full-time at the Pacific Maritime Institute as a student services manager.
Everyone comes up to me after the shows and says, Jenny, can we have her? Does she play with anyone else? And I'm like, nope, you can't. And no, she just plays with me.
It's easy to say, and I've definitely considered it in the past, that, oh, it's too much, you know, this is one thing I should probably just stop doing. I think it's easy to say that because I have to have a job and I have kids that have to be cared for. But at the end of the day, it's important for my kids to see that there is a place in your life for things that you love and for things that you're passionate about. I think it makes me a better mom, it makes me a better wife, a better friend to have an outlet for those things.
I have 2 kids. Trying to balance that and having a day job and just life stress It's all really hard to navigate. Luckily, I have a big family. My kids, their dad and their stepmom really allow me to be able to do this. They've really stepped up to let me do this, and it's good for my kids to see that too, that I'm pursuing what I really want to do.
I'm Kelly. I'm the lead vocalist, bassist, multi-instrumentalist for the Spider Ferns. We have 2 children. Our children are 19 and 23. We had kids very early, very different than what people are doing now. A lot of my friends have children at my age, young ones. And I'm looking at purchasing a motorcycle. That's what I would like. I'm ready to do some different things, so I have a lot of freedom at this point in my life that I really enjoy. Our children are amazing people and our friends. So that's also a really neat thing, is we kind of made our own little village. And my children healed my heart, and they taught me more about myself than I think I would have learned otherwise. I owe my love of music very much to my mother. She was very much a performer. There was always voice around me. For my mom, she needed me to be very self-sufficient at an early age, to know how to cook, to clean, and to busy myself. If I was fascinated with something she was doing, she didn't think, oh, I'm gonna educate my child, or, she didn't. A lot of people now, they kind of want to make their kids like little baby geniuses, and my mom was really very much ahead of the curve, except she never would have thought of it like that. She's like, oh, you're fascinated that I'm doing calligraphy. She didn't care I was 5, she bought me a calligraphy kit. So I just really mimicked my mother.
When we come back, you'll see that despite the times, we still haven't broken the glass ceiling.
Girl drummers are really hot. Oh, you're a really good drummer, by the way. And I'm like, you really should have opened with the other comment.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a glass ceiling that needs to be broken there, but it's nice to know that there's a lot of other strong females that are breaking it with me.
I feel I'm real falling in your brain. Take it there, I know what I'm doing. I do it all so well.
My name is Sadie Ava. I'm the lead singer of Sundries, and in my spare time, I enjoy working for social justice and social advocacy and reading books about history and math.
Got yourself right, got a whole crew with you go, right by your side. What did you come here for? Can I provide? I feel that bass drum kick, it makes me feel alive. Powers implicit in the way she calls my name.
Well, Sadie is one of my very best friends in the entire world. She's a very powerful force. I think that's why we get along so well, because both of us are kind of powerful women who are just like, yeah, this is what we do. Like it or don't like it.
Well, I definitely think that Leah and I have this bond, probably because we're both women in the music industry, which, as much as I would not like it to be an issue, is constantly an issue, which is ridiculous. But that being said, Leah is obviously an incredible musician, an incredible human. She plays in Thunderpussy, she's played in Cumulus, you know, she's definitely the heart of a lot of bands in Seattle. You know, not to like name check bands in Seattle, but she's in multiple bands in Seattle, and she definitely is like a rooted core member of this community, which I think is irreplaceable.
Power's implicit in the way she calls my name. Power's implicit in the way she calls my name. Power's implicit in the way she calls my name. Power's implicit in the way she calls my name. I feel the way. I feel the way. I feel the way. I feel the way. I feel your way. I feel your way. Washing over. 'Cause I feel I'm real. I found it in my brain. I took it there. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I do it oh so well.
I think if you ask any female musician in the world, especially in Seattle, they will have a story for you. Since I was 14 years old, walking up to a venue with my amp and it's like, where's your boyfriend? Every female musician I've talked to has had that experience.
Instead of people coming up to me afterwards and being like, you are an incredible drummer, they'll be like, that's the hardest I've ever seen a girl hit on the drums. Or, girl drummers are really hot. Oh, you're a really good drummer, by the way. And I'm like, you really should have opened with the other comment.
I'm not quiet about it. It's not necessarily an irritant, it's just constantly shocking that my musicianship and my skill would be either objectified or sublimated or ignored. And that's troubling.
There was a gentleman, I'll call him a gentleman, right after we tore down from a show, came up to me and thought he was giving me a compliment. And usually I think this is where it stems from, but it ends up, you know, wow, that was the fastest I've ever seen a woman tear down her gear. Great job. And I look at him and I'm like, thanks. The tricky part is educating, but I think the most powerful way to educate is to just getting up there. I'm loading all my own gear and just doing the hard work. And I think that if people see that, that is probably the most powerful way to send that message. I have women who do come up to me after shows and they always talk about the strength, that's what they're so attracted to. The most touching thing is when you have a young girl who happens to be at an all-ages show and she comes up and she's stoked, you know, gives you a little side hug. Nothing can touch that.
Hi, I'm Stacey Jones, the harmonica, piano, guitarist, and vocalist of the Stacey Jones Band. Music's a boys' club. Every single gig in Europe, they'd go to pay us for the show and they'd either go to hand it off to my dad or go to hand it off to Rick. And every single time, these guys are so great, they just went, no, that goes to the boss. And every single time, the club owner would go, really? Yeah, I mean, there's still a glass ceiling that needs to be broken there, but it's nice to know that there's a lot of other strong females that are breaking it with me. It's much harder to be in charge than to just let somebody else be in charge. But then at the end, you get to have everything done the way that you want to have it done and be proud of it and not be fooled by anybody. I mean, it's definitely tough. Guys can say some things that are just pretty ridiculous, and it's thick skin. You gotta get thick skin. And if you don't have it, you can always develop it, because I don't think I always had it.
Hold. No more wandering, I wanna plan my road. And I'm
back to find out what inspires these women and where they go from here.
All dreams start in delusion.
You know, I don't need to make millions of dollars. That would be nice, don't get me wrong, but
all bands should have songs about their band.
Ours just happens to be badass.
Hi, I'm Mindy Lind, and when I'm not performing with my band, I'm working here in the Cloud Room. All dreams start in delusion. If you're gonna be a dream chaser, that's like part of your spirit, you have to be somewhat delusional. Just this idea that you can do anything, you know, so some of it's total BS. It's not BS like I don't really believe it, but it sort of starts there, like, okay, I can do it. I don't know, I think confidence is a tool that I've developed to help other people feel comfortable with who I am. But you know, the most attractive people to me are fearless people, or people who inspire me because they're confident, because they just plow through. I just don't know how to go about something like casually.
I'm always hungry and fed, and I'm gonna die trying. Always hungry and fed, and I'm gonna die trying.
The community that I originally came from, which is from busking and Pike Place Market, the Pike Place Market community, if it wasn't for them, I probably would have given up. A lot of the people there encouraged me from the beginning that this is what I should be doing, and whether it was through their hand warmers, their little hot cocos they gave me while I'm playing on the street, it inspired me to believe in myself, was from playing on the street.
music always comes through for me, and it always inspires me to just keep going. And if I'm feeling down, I can find that song that'll inspire me to be lifted. Or if I want to just stay down, I'll find that song that'll just push me that further down to reach that point of inspiration. The biggest hump and hurdle that I've had, other than the passing of my mom, after that was being homeless in New York for years. You know, I don't need to make millions of dollars. That would be nice, don't get me wrong, but the balance is hard. It's definitely hard when you are dealing with customer service and people are treating you like you're nothing, but then you get to go that night and do a show and get it all off your chest. It makes it worth it.
I think that anytime, like when I was a kid, my parents would have a party, I would like bring out the biggest tutu or party dress that I had and get up on the coffee table and make everybody like stop what they were doing and listen to me sing a song. I think when I was like a teenager, I got more serious about really wanting to do that and pursue it, and went to a couple rock school camps in Seattle, got together with some other girls, and we started sort of like an all-girl rock band that lasted for a couple years. I think between the ages of like 17 and 20, all I wanted was to get to be in a band.
Girls are learning now, they're seeing women being incredibly successful. Let's say you were going to go out in Seattle. I mean, there are so many female musicians in Seattle, and they're not just here. They're in Austin, and they're in Denver, and they're in LA, and they're in Chicago, and everywhere, you know? I'm just so excited to see where the next generations can take it without having had maybe some of the limitations that I had, where you walk into the band room and you are drawn to the drums, but they pull you towards the flute. I think that's not happening anymore.
The magic formula is to have trust, knowing that there are no boundaries, that we create them for ourselves. Really just going for it, because you never know unless you try, right?
When I see you coming down the street, I give you something that you love to eat. You say you're hungry for something sweet, I'll give it to you.
Hey guys, I'm Whitney from Thunderpussy.
I'm Molly from Thunderpussy.
Coming for you on the prowl.
Thunderpussy is pure rock and roll.
All bands should have songs about their band.
Ours just happens to be badass.
Feel me creeping up the back of your spine. Desire got you walking the line. You can shake me, not this time. I said I'll get you. Take a ride on my slip.
So my bandmates, I have the coolest band, and it's like we're all best friends and we all live together. They're pretty cool people. You know, Leah, she's really special, and she's got the best ideas. Whenever I'm stuck, Leah just comes out of left field. Why don't we just play the song like this? And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Lena, on that same token, is a freak of nature. If you ask Lena like what her favorite instrument is, I think she'll tell you clarinet or some crap like that, right? Like you give Lena a xylophone and she's like virtuosic on it. And then there's Molly Sides, my total inspiration. She's really got a beautiful brain. The way that she thinks and the stuff that comes out of her mouth is so good.
I go to bed, I dream. I wake up, I'm still dreaming. I am passionate about what I do every day, but it's also because of the people that I surround myself with. If you want to be a good person, you are with good people. When someone says, when are you going to get a normal job? And I'm like, well, this is a normal job to me. I think you can find love and passion within your job description. I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't do this for the rest of my life. And that is called passion. And that's just a dream that I make into reality every day.
From all of us here at Band in Seattle, we salute the strong female presence the Northwest has cultivated for decades. From Heart to Thunderpussy, and Brandi Carlile to the Black Tones, it's inspiring to see women representing all genres, proving that the only boundaries for what we can accomplish are the ones we create.